in the
What's
building.
up?
Thank you for being here.
What is up, Houston, Texas?
Man, so where are you originally from? Tell everybody.
Born and raised Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay. All right. And you're making the rounds because, you've done some, acts and opening stuff for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, we just
so
did the
a lot
halftime
of
show.
people are familiar with your music out here. So you got a big fan base.
Yeah, it's cool. The first time, the first round we did with tour was actually ended up out here in Houston. I did Warehouse Live, and we didn't know what to expect. Sold out crowd. It was crazy.
Wow.
And it's surreal, you know what I'm saying? Because like this is all new, everything. Had Chris Bettis come out with me, so. And then of course brought Paul Wall out and they're doing the halftime show at the Houston Texans. Like you don't know what to expect, but Houston's always show love.
Yeah. So I mean, you're making the rounds and you're breaking a lot of barriers. So I had never really, I've grew up on Tejano. So that country Tejano, Mexican Texas kind of vibe. That was actually my first radio station was with Tejano music. So, but and I've heard a lot of Tejano artists go into that country realm, like the Emilio Navairas and things like that. But to have an artist who is solely country, your influences. I mean, did you grow up like? Always with country or?
Nah, I mean, being from Texas, you don't have a choice. But I grew up on the Selenas of the world, Michael Jackson, of course, the Garth Brookses, George Strait, for the country. But I grew up well-rounded on music, like hip-hop. I was a big 50 Cent fan. Eminem,
okay.
I grew up all kinds of music, yeah.
All right. So how did that, how did you get that transition from, just kind of from where you were locally to kind of like start getting regional? Because I know a lot of artists are listening, and, it's got to be tough, right, to get into a genre like country music, and something that probably a lot of Mexicanos aren't really, they're not dominating in that industry. So how difficult was it, and how did you get where you're at today?
That's a good question. It wasn't easy, but at the same time, I didn't do it to please nobody. Like I wasn't reaching out to radio stations or doing all this and that. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit the road, buy the venues myself, sell it out. Scary money don't make money. Let's go, But I come from a different background. Like I was a real life outlaw. When I got out of prison, I told everybody, I said, watch, I'm finna go get it again. And anybody that knows me. Like whatever I say I'm gonna do, just promise me. I promise you it's gonna happen. So I wrote "Come and Take It," one of my biggest records online, because of radio stations telling me we can't play him. He's not country. We can't do it.
Oh, wow.
And it started a fuse, and I guess it didn't matter because Universal Music Group said I am. So here we are.
Yeah. So you're about to go on tour.
I'm going back on a national tour. Yes.
Okay. All right. So where are the cities that you're hitting?
Anywhere you can think of, from Chicago all the way down to the East Coast, Carolinas, the West Coast. It's 20 plus cities. But I just did this. I already did a national tour, and we did it independently. And so you're talking over 10,000 tickets sold by myself.
Wow.
So, this time around though, we got new things coming. Chris Bettis hitting the band with me. All kinds of stuff. You just, but you don't know what to expect. To be honest with you, being a Latino going to the East Coast,
yeah,
you don't see a lot of us, especially look like us, and not to mention like, what the outlaws. There's outlaw country, but there was never really outlaws doing country.
Right.
So when we walk in, we get the we get the stares, it's the tattoos. I get it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just here to do music, spread love, joy.
So what's that feel like? And what is your take also on why you feel that you're well received?
Because I don't try to please nobody. And I think that's what everybody can relate to. It's like, man, I think that's what a lot of people mess up in music. Like, oh, I got to do this because this is sound. Or I got to do this. Or let me be this. Or let me try to sound like the next SZA or next Chris Brown. And it's like, well, why would you do that? We already have Chris Brown. So if somebody likes the Chris Brown sound, who would you go listen to? Chris Brown.
Right.
So I think originality comes in with it, comes into play. And then plus, if you listen to my music, it's not traditional country. There are records that are like that.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. I just kind of always been me,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've never felt comfortable being anything else. And I think that's what transitions with people, like I'm a goofy guy. I make funny videos sometimes. And then I make my lover boy videos, and then I make,
But I've seen some of your videos that look like movies.
Oh yeah,
like straight theatrical
shout out to
acting.
KV who shoots those. But people they ask now, but I actually creative direct all my videos from beginning to end, scripts, everything. I'm the one that creates the goofy plots most of the time. My boy KV just executes the camera.
Wow, excellent. So I do know that you have a record with Paul Wall.
Yeah.
So you're kind of blending, that whole, because I've always been a fan of the rap with country music, like from back in the day. There's always, even from Rap and Duke, right? So, you know, that was really interesting for me. I didn't know how Paul Wall was going to sound on a country record, but you know, I do hear a lot of the Htown Texas influence in that, and that song bangs. Like I just wasn't expecting it, and I got to be honest with you, I am late to the party when it comes to Louie the Singer.
It's okay.
And I know that a lot of people probably are just like myself. Like I'm a big music fan, a country music fan, Tejano fan. But again, like you're making your way out here, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to have you in here, because I see the fan base, I see the love, I see all the places that you're hitting, and I feel like you're an artist that definitely needs to have more of a bigger platform and people behind you.
Yes.
I feel like you've done all the work. You're still doing the work.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that the fan base is just, you know, supports you in the way that they do, I'm like, you know what, we got to have this guy. He's got to tell us our story. Is there anything that you feel like has not been told, or a story or something about you that people, maybe misconceptions, or that need to know when it comes to Louie the Singer?
And I'm an open book. Like, so if you know me, you can go through anything online. I tell it all. You know, I've been open about my past. I'm open about where I want to go. Other than that, I mean, I'm an open book. If people know, call whoever you got to call. It's gonna be the same answers. You know, he is who he is. You know, I love music enough to where I think it shows daily. You know, it's like whatever I do, it's like people know me. Like if I'm talking, I'm like, that's a song. You know, like, and no, for real, it's like so weird to the point when you finally meet other people like that. They're like, man, what? And then you're in a room with all these writers in Nashville, and you're like, man, you know, it's kind of cool. You know, my manager, we've been friends since I was 17. So like to be like, you know, around my idols like Frankie J, like I just left his house. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like writing with these guys and working with them and looking over at my manager sometimes, we kind of like, it kind of like both hits us. Yeah. So on tour, we would have this whole thing, and it was really cool to where I would be on stage, and you're talking about word for word, they're screaming. We're in Fresno, California. We're in Chicago. We're everywhere. And they're just, like, we show up tripping. And I got finally, they told me to be quiet eventually because I'd be like, what is that? They're like, it's the line. I'm like, what is that? What's going on there? And it's my show. And it's wrapped around the building. And I'm like, man, I don't even know that many people that like me back home.
Wow.
You know? So I would do this thing where I would look at him on stage while they're just going. I look back at him like, we did it. This is it. You know, this is it.
Yeah. I mean, and the way that you're telling this to me right now, it's translating that there's a lot of work that it's taken to get here. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, I've been to prison and back, you know, trying to, you know, make this happen, you know, fund this whole thing. When Vega found me, I was a troubled kid. You know, my grandmother and his mother, you would have conversations, and he was young too, and they would tell him like, you need to talk to my grandson, you know, please get him off the streets, help him, da-da-da. And Vega's like, what? I'm 22. I'm a kid myself. You know, so I look at things like that. We both knew each other since before our fathers. He was there when I had my son. I was there when he had his daughter. Here we are both like multiple kids in, and it's weird because the motivation is the only thing that's changed. The goal hasn't changed, but the motivation is not our kids, you know, like, I mean, it's just surreal, you know, because I come from a different background of music. I know what it's like to be like, for real, CDs out the trunk, city to city, not even selling CDs. Hey, check this out, just for them to throw it on the floor, straight up. You know, I didn't even have money to print that, but I did it with a risk. Gave money to make money. Well, there went my money, you know, and you know, posters with your like Facebook.com or MySpace.com just for them to be on the ground, and you pick it up, kind of dusting it off, like, all right, put it back in the stash. We'll use it for next show or something. Just sometimes paying to open up shows, you know, to now doing sold out shows and making almost $1 million independently just off one tour. And it's kind of like, you know, makes you want to bring the squad. And here we are. These guys have been rocking with me since I was the other guy. They were my guns then, you know? So it was only right that I bring them here. And so same thing with Lorenzo. Me and Lorenzo actually went our own ways. You know, brothers have egos sometimes, and it's like, yeah, whatever, you know? So we spent years apart. And I remember I was on the way to New Mexico for a meet and greet. And I told him, I said, you know what, I'm done. Stay out. I want nothing to do with you, but I promise you, a year from now, and he called me and reminded me of this. I said, it's going to change. I'm going to be calling this. This is what I fought for. And I promise you, I'm not little bro no more. It's just bro. And after that, he kind of gave me my chips, but I had to humble myself and say it straight up. I only used the ropes that I was taught by him. So it's kind of like when he left, I was kind of like, you know what? I don't need you. I'm going to use everything you taught me though. You know, so it's kind of like, okay. But it's cool, you know, to see that growth in both of us, you know what I'm saying? Because that only makes our team stronger.
Right.
Like we're like the dynamic duo, like Universal Music Group, Nashville, whenever they started having meetings with us, we're in meetings with like 15 to 20 plus executives, you would say, right about? And we're at the end of this table, and I don't even know what's happening, but before you know it, I'm standing over this table with my hands, and I'm like, because this, and that, and this is what we're doing, and this is the next move, and they're all just like, he knows what he wants, you know? And then I remember walking out of there, and I swear, it's like the cape came off, and I'm like telling them, like, I just I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm like, oh, dude,
Right.
was that real?
Right.
And you know, here I am with Chris Perez right next to me, and my manager next to me, and it's kind of like surreal, you know, especially growing up such a big Selena fan, to see what Chris and them did, you know, with the Mexican American culture back when I was a kid,
Right.
and now having that, you know, same love. Our people don't give in easy.
Right.
You can't even be a voice for us unless you are one of us,
Yeah.
unless you come from the struggle,
Right.
unless you come from really knowing what it's like to not have,
Right.
you know. And I think that's what it makes it better for us to find it now, because I'm 33 years old, which I'm very open about my age, because everybody's like, oh, you gotta act young. I'm like, act young, man. I got a high school student, high school
Right.
kid. Well, that sound like being like, oh yeah, because most artists, it's so weird to me. They'll lie about their age,
Yep.
which takes away from your experience.
Right.
Oh, I don't talk about my age, man. Look, tell people straight up. You know why I tell people I'm
Right.
33? Because I want people to know. Look, I've been around this block multiple times,
Right.
so it's best you don't try to do me over.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like that, you know. So it's kind of
Not
like,
a lot of us make it to be this age, so you know.
yeah, half of these guys tatted on me weren't this age when they passed, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. So one of those things I can say though, like, it's just that I can say that brings me joy and like a recharge every time, is seeing the look on the homies' faces, seeing the looks on the fans' faces, meeting these people, hearing their stories about how my music changed their lives. Like literally, like we have some of the, like, you know, a lot of my fans, of course, they're women, a lot of them.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
You have a big, huge fan base. They're all like, "Oh my God, Louie the Singer."
But
So,
what's crazy is 40% of them, 30%.
are men.
Men tatted up on the face, gangsters straight out of prison, like, hey homeboy, this is that. And I'm like, sometimes we be at gas stations and it changed very drastically from girls walking up to us like, can we get a picture, to like, are you Louie? Everybody's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, my bad, trying to get a picture. And we're like, whoa, this is getting weird, you know. But you know, it's a blessing. So here we are.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Really, really proud of you. Like you said, being, you know, Mexican American, and you know, I felt like there was always, everybody else got the look, everybody else got the shine, everybody else, but it's like we've been a part of this culture in every aspect, whether it's Tejano, whether it's country, whether it's rock music or hip hop.
I'm about to say, even hip hop,
Right.
we're Mexicanos are probably the biggest numbers in hip hop fan base. You know, like and Paul says it all the time. He's like, some of my biggest fans. I mean, like majority of my fans.
Yeah,
are
we've been
Latino.
hearing that from a lot of artists.
And
lately.
I think it's just really just because of the Latino wave period. Like we definitely multiply.
Well,
you
we're
know?
the majority now in Texas. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We're the majority
that was
now.
cool. That was cool.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you being here, and I want people
Thank
to
you.
really check out your music. You know, rodeo season is upon us. You're gonna be walking around. We're gonna see you out there at the rodeo.
I'll be on tour.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, who knows? You never know. You know, I had a red carpet event in San Antonio, and we got to go to the Riverwalk. Ran into a lot of fans, and it was cool. So
That's
you
that's
know,
my
so-
hometown. San
Yeah. Oh
Antonio.
yeah.
Yeah.
San Antonio's on the tour too. We're doing the Aztec.
Okay.
Aztec. Yeah. So man, that's another thing. This tour, we haven't. Can we tell who it's with? Yeah. So the tour's with Live Nation, and so Country Nation, Latino Nation, other were involved. Yeah. So all of them were involved. Country Nation, Latino Nation, and Live Nation. And this is
Wow.
the first time that all three of them have got together.
Wow.
So I'm very excited to see where this goes. I saw what me and Lorenzo could do by ourselves. So imagine a machine, you know. And then now we got the
Yes.
label helping us with certain things. So I can't wait.
Yeah, sky's the limit, man. You deserve it.
Thank you.
I want people to check you out. So where can they follow you and find you?
Louie TheSinger everywhere. Stalk me, come find me, look for me like my baby mamas. LouieTheSinger on all of it. Facebook, Threads, TikTok, for sure TikTok. Even though you can't hear our music on there, all Universal Artists right now. That's crazy.
right.
Yeah. Go figure, right? It's like, you've got the major deal. Well, there goes my major outlet. But yeah, Instagram as well. So check me out. I got new stuff coming.
All right. And then the tour dates, where can they find out? You have a website. You're going to be posting that on the socials also?
I do have two websites. So there's LouieTheSingerTour.com, and then the other one is LouieTheSingerOfficial.com. And yeah, so just be ready, man. I'm excited. Like I can't wait. This tour is gonna be dope, you know, because towards the end of my last tour, I amped up the shows to 2 hours, and so now I'm ready. Man, imagine with the whole band behind me.
Yeah. Oh my God, I got to catch a show.
excited.
So
Yeah.
When's the Houston date?
Houston
yet?
date is
I'll look for it. July. Okay, I'm definitely pulling up. But before we do that, I want to get into the song with Paul Wall. It is called Down Here, Louie TheSinger. But if you could introduce it for us, por
Yeah,
favor.
so you are about to listen to Down Here by Louie TheSinger featuring Paul Wall. Shout out to everybody that was involved in the record. Shout out to my boy KV shooting the video. Cuadra Mejia for letting us film there. Houston, Texas. Get ready.
Long horns on the hood and I'm still gripping wood, still tipping, baby, sitting sideways. Texas heat on the candy paint, in and out of county lanes, baby, I love to swing. Finally posted on the corner with a couple cold Coronas and some outlaws out today. When we started, we were sober, baby, it ain't even over. They gon' have to drag us out this place. Yeah, it's different down here. The oil that we sippin', baby, different down here. Everything trillin', bigger, better down here. Finger on the trigger when you move around here. Yeah, it's different down here. Tequila and Bucanas, yeah, different down here. Everything trillin', bigger, better down here. Finger on the trigger when you move around here.
I'm out the Lone Star State from the city of drink. I'm well known for representing, matter of fact, top rank. Respect the elders where I'm from and I always give thanks, but not concerned what others think. That's just how we think. Now what you know about this melting pot that we got? I hope you like eating good food, cause we got a lot. We show love, but disrespect you should not. If you can't stand the heat, then get out, cause it can get hot. I'm out in Vida, riding in the two-tone drop truck. And Lockhart at Texas Hatters, getting my felt up. Everywhere we go, you know we keep that thing tucked. But you ain't gotta worry, I just keep it for good luck, for real.
Yeah, it's different down here.
Different down here.
Oil that we sippin', baby, different down here. Everything trillin', bigger, better
A
down
little
here.
better down
Finger
here.
on the trigger when you move around here. Yeah, it's different down here.
Different down
Tequila
here.
and Bucanas, yeah, different down here. Everything trillin', bigger, better
A little
down here.
better down
Finger
here.
on the trigger when you move around here. West Coast, hold it down. East Coast, hold it down. Midwest, hold it down. Yeah, me gente, hold it down. All my outlaws, yeah, hold it down. I'll be in for work, yeah, holding